Brother. Good morning. I jump in with both feet here. Back in 1979, my hobbies were cattle rustling and heavy equipment and hot cars. So I was on my way to prison for the first time, and I invited Jesus to be my Lord at that time. And then I spent about the next 23 years running from that calling on my life. 1986, I was arrested again, this time for murder, armed robbery, assault and battery. Ended up doing quite a bit of time on that. And 1992, one of my sons died, and that there just ain't enough drugs to come back from that. Excuse me. 1994, I got in a gunfight down in North Sac, got shot in the face. 1996, I went to prison for the third time. That was corporal injury to spouse. Funny, all this time, God was calling me, trying to get my attention, and I'm a little more hard-headed than most. And you might be thinking at that time, wow, man, if I went through that, I'd certainly answer, but this is where you put on your seatbelt. Got up one morning, I bought an 18-wheeler. My wife at that time informed me that by the time I got home from work, she would no longer be there. So, tired of fighting, tired of prison. I knew what I'd do if I was there when her boyfriend showed up. Got in my truck and went to work. I finished my day out, and I turned my truck towards home. About a quarter mile away from my house, I saw, that's why I write it down, I get emotional. Saw a girl waiting across the street, and we made eye contact. As I was going by, I caught a flash out of my mirror, and I turned just in time to see her run under the rear tires of my trailer. So I ran back there trying to save her life. And from my training in the military, I figured out in a hurry that there was no saving her. And as her friends and family gathered around, I apologized to anyone I could, and I went back to my truck and sat down on the tank, and I waited for the police to show up to haul me off, because I knew that that was going to be the third strike that was going on in my head. I sat there looking at her laying in the road, and the highway patrol and fire department guy and the chaplain walked up, and they moved me around to the front of my truck where I could no longer see what was going on. And it was then that the trauma intervention guy showed up too. And these guys started praying for me. And I realized what was going on, and I got angry, and I said, hold it, my life's done. You need to go back there. That guy kneeling next to her is her husband. You go back there and you pray for him. And they said, we've been trying to tell you this, that he sent us to you to take care of you. Howie Drummond said that the husband saw the whole thing and he has cleared you of any wrongdoing, so we're going to take care of you. I called some friends to come get my truck, and another friend took me home. And remember that part about my wife leaving me? She was gone. For the next 2 weeks, me and my dog, never been that alone. And couldn't drink enough. I couldn't take enough pills or do anything to make that go out of my head. I kept seeing her and dreaming about it. 2.5 weeks into this, I sat up 2 o'clock in the morning, and I heard a voice that said, you need to pray. I'm like, yeah, right. What's God going to have to do with me? I said, no, you need to pray. So, okay. I thought of some great, lofty theological thing that I could say, and from the depths of my soul, 3 words came out: Jesus, fix me. And then that voice again said, remember the guy that did the funeral for your son? I'm not prone to hearing voices. This went on then. They said, I'm going to tell my wife about it. So Pastor Glenn was the pastor that did the funeral for my son. And boy, I said, go to church. next Sunday I went to church. Went to the salt mine. And I sat in the back, not really knowing anybody but Glenn. And then the music started, and I started crying. Mike, thank you. Then I don't really remember the message, but then the music started again. And then he gave an invitation to prayer. And I don't remember getting up to the front. There I was. He asked what was going on, and it all just came out, what was going on. And as I was telling it, for those of you that have been in the military and you've actually carried a backpack, I felt a tangible weight leave me as I was telling it. I was delivered at that moment from the methamphetamine. I was delivered from the guilt. I rededicated my life at that time and surrendered to the calling that was on my life at that time. Boy, things are different now. 10 years of being married to a believing wife. Yeah. Ordained minister at the salt mine. If you're sitting here and you have done things that we all have that you're not proud of, but if you're thinking in your mind that I've done too much, I've gone too far, God would not want anything to do with me, stop believing that lie of the devil, and you come home where you belong. Thank you all for your time. Thank you.